Joe Biden nominates the first black woman to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Russian troops surround the Ukrainian capital. U.S. allies are responding.
Plus, a 19-year-old is running to be the 94th District Representative in Columbus. Newswatch starts right now.
Good evening. I'm Will Price.
And I'm Nick Veland. Welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. Ketanji Brown Jackson is now the first black woman nominated to be a Supreme Court justice. Before her nomination, the 51-year-old Harvard graduate from Washington, D.C. has been considered the frontrunner to replacing retiring Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer. This nomination upholds President Biden's campaign promise to make this historic appointment. The president held a press conference today to comment on the significance of this nomination.
Our government, our courts haven't looked like America. And I believe it's time that we have a court that reflects the full talents and greatness of our nation with a nominee of extraordinary qualifications.
The Senate is currently split 50-50, so all Democrats will need to approve the nominee in order to confirm. According to Senate Judiciary Committee Chair Dick Durbin, the goal is to have Jackson confirmed in time for the April 11th recess. Jackson is expected to sit in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee next week. She spoke today at the conference regarding her appointment and its importance.
And if I am fortunate enough to be confirmed as the next Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, I can only hope that my life and career, my love of this country and the Constitution, and my commitment to upholding the rule of law and the sacred principles upon which this great nation was founded will inspire future generations of Americans.
Ohio Republican Senator Rob Portman released a statement saying he looks forward to reviewing Jackson's record and qualifications. Ohio Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown said on Twitter, quote, "Ketanji Brown Jackson has the experience, the character, and the commitment to justice needed to be an excellent Supreme Court justice," end quote.
After seeing some rain yesterday, we're finally going to start seeing a break in the precipitation, but for right now we do see a temperature of around 31 degrees here in Athens, and with a northwest wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, we do see our wind chill at around 26 degrees, so it's still feeling quite chilly, but that's definitely going to change heading into this weekend. Across the regions, temperatures are in around the freezing mark, a little colder up to Columbus at around 28 degrees. They did see some wintry precipitation last night, and that's still going to stick around on the ground, but overall looking pretty decent across the region. But with our light winds still going across the region, we have a wind chill down in the low 20s to upper 20s down south, so make sure you do bundle up if you're heading outside tonight. But heading in my full forecast later on, we're going to be seeing dry weather all weekend. We're going to still see a cold start for Saturday and plenty of sunshine for the weekend. But for now, I'm going to be handing it back to Will.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced new measures for removal of mask mandates in low-risk communities today. U.S. officials say some Americans can safely take a break from wearing masks. The new measures focus less on positive test results and more on what is happening at the hospitals. More than 70% of the U.S. population live in counties where COVID-19 poses a low to medium threat to hospitals.
Ohio's political map-making panel votes to approve legislative maps they hope can pass through the state Supreme Court. This follows the Ohio Supreme Court decision to summon the Ohio Redistricting Commission on contempt charges for gerrymandering. According to the GOP calculations, the Republican-dominated panel released a new plan giving Republicans a 54-45 Ohio House majority and an 18-15 Ohio Senate majority. This new plan is the closest any GOP map has been drawn to matching Ohio's political breakdown. But Democrats disagree with these calculations. The previous two plans were invalidated for gerrymandering. Contempt proceedings remain scheduled for Tuesday. 19-year-old Ryan Goodman is running to be the youngest state legislator in Ohio history. He is hoping to unseat Jay Edwards in the 94th House District. Reporter Andre Norrell spoke with Goodman and the current House Representative, Jay Edwards, to get their take on the election.
Hey, I'm running for the Ohio House of Representatives. I'm excited to learn.
Ohio University sophomore Ryan Goodman didn't think he would be campaigning for office his second year in college.
I'm very passionate about issues, and deciding to actually do something about them was not really in my plan.
The 19-year-old's friends and family didn't expect him to run either.
They just kept saying, "What? Like the Ohio House of Representatives?" They're like, "I didn't even know you could run that young."
Goodman says they're supportive, but a bit worried about his being in the spotlight.
I know that they're going to be with me through every step of the way and fighting for me till the end.
Goodman says while talking to people around Ohio, he hears a lot about those wanting to lead the state.
I think we need young people and new people in the scene to kind of change policies and make Ohio a place where people want to stay.
He wants to do this by creating more jobs and hopes it will make people want to stay, especially graduates. He says he will be relentless in solving the problems people care about in Southeast Ohio.
I hope that when traveling around the different counties in our district that I can learn about issues that they're more passionate about and ways that I can better advocate for them.
When current state representative Jay Edwards heard of Goodman's run, he wasn't against it.
I think it's great. I mean, that's what democracy is all about. This is great.
Edwards knows something about being the young candidate. When he first ran, he was in his late 20s.
I was young and green and didn't know a lot about, I'd always followed politics, but I didn't know a lot about policy. The one good thing I had going for me is, people like a fresh face.
Goodman hopes to be the next fresh face for Southeast Ohio. Andre Norrell in Athens for Newswatch.
Goodman, a Democrat, will face Edwards in the general election in November. Both candidates will run unopposed in the primary election on May 3rd.
An Ohio State trooper is in stable condition after being struck outside his car responding to a crash. State Trooper Austin Crow was hit by a tractor trailer investigating a disabled trailer on Interstate 70 in Licking County. The tractor trailer attempted to change lanes and hit two other vehicles, one of which struck Crow outside his car. The Highway Patrol says all troopers on the scene were wearing reflective outerwear. The crash remains under investigation. West Virginia lawmakers advanced a bill that would prevent people from getting an abortion as a result of the child having a disability. Senate Bill 468 passed the Senate Finance Committee and is now under consideration from the full state Senate. The bill applies to all disabilities, but does allow exemptions in case of medical emergencies for the mother or the child. This comes after Ohio passed legislation, also limiting situations where people can get abortions. U.S. allies are making decisions on how to assist Ukraine and tips on how to deal with anxiety during times of crisis. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
Plus, the district finals are underway here at Piketon High School. Can the Trimble Lady Tomcats avenge their first loss of the season in this playoff rematch? Join us later on to find out.
We're all living with too much toxic stress, emotional turmoil, and frustrating disruptions affecting every aspect of our lives. But it doesn't have to be that way. Dr. Deepak Chopra shows us a path filled with inner peace, vibrant energy, and profound joy. Ancient wisdom combined with the latest in scientific research. Please join us for Deepak Chopra, your path to enlightenment.
She had her own talk variety show in the early days of television, and she has been a hit in every venue through every decade in which she has worked in our business.
Betty White.
Betty White. Betty White.
Betty White.
Betty White. Betty White, ladies and gentlemen.
PBS, the place I trust to tell my story. Don't miss it.
My Music brings back the sound of the 60s. Join your hosts, Davy Jones and Peter Noon, for this PBS special.
Italy is without crowds, yet busy as ever. In kitchens and workshops, master artisans carry on age-old traditions.
We use this machine invented by Leonardo da Vinci.
The legacy of prior generations courses through their veins.
My family worked the glass since 1650.
Experience the passion that drives them.
What made me an artist? Love. Love.
Loud, ear-piercing raid sirens blare throughout the Ukrainian capital as Russia continues its advance. The Ukrainian capital Kyiv was lit up last night by heavy shelling and sounds of blasting echoing through the air. Tensions and fears continue to grow as the Russian military assaults the nation. U.S. intelligence suggests that the capital could fall within days. President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine says the most intense fighting is happening at the bridge in southern Ukraine that connects Ukraine and the Russian annexed territory of Crimea. Through many Ukrainians are feeling the war-torn country, President Zelensky and other leaders are vowing to stay in Kyiv no matter what. The nation's foreign president went further by encouraging those staying to take up arms and defend their country.
We are standing in line for the weapons. We are standing in line to give our blood to our soldiers.
The White House decided today to sanction Russian President Vladimir Putin and the foreign minister. The U.S. joins the European Union in sanctioning the two men. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki announced the decision at today's press briefing.
Following a telephone conversation President Biden held with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, and in alignment with the decision by our European allies, the United States will join them in sanctioning President Putin and Foreign Minister Lavrov and members of the Russian National Security Team. I expect we'll have more specific details out later this afternoon.
Ukrainian President Zelensky says sanctions are not enough. In a video to his citizens, the Ukrainian president calls for more support from the West, asking for troops and supplies to help fight Russia forces. President Biden said today, no American troops will fight in Ukraine.
It's easy for headline anxiety to creep up and make us feel stressed and overwhelmed. Mary Maloney has 3 tips to help you reduce stress and worry less.
Anxiety awakened. With jarring headlines of war abroad and inflation here at home, you may be feeling more anxious and overwhelmed than usual.
Many people are stressed out. Many people are feeling anxious, and you're not alone. The less alone we feel, the less intense those emotions can feel.
Life coach and health expert Stephanie Manzor has these 3 tips to help you reduce that heightened anxiety and worry less. Number 1, use your senses and sniff your way to serenity.
You can either spritz your favorite perfume, or you can use cologne, you can light a candle, you can use essential oils, whatever you can smell that makes you feel relaxed and a little bit more at ease.
Number 2, when there's a lot going on that's outside of your control or too many thoughts in your mind, Manzor suggests you pause and sip on something warm, like hot tea.
Now, why hot tea? Well, when something is hot, we have to slow down. We have to calm down in order to slowly drink the hot beverage.
And number 3, turn to your breath. Try this simple breathing technique that will help you release stress.
Breathe in for 4 counts, hold at the top for 4 counts, and slowly breathe out for another 4 counts. This is going to help your nervous system get more settled and feel more relaxed.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
Instead of focusing on eliminating the source of stress, Mansour says focus on managing your emotions and mindset amidst the stress. A new fund addresses racial equity in Athens County. That story's still ahead.
And after seeing plenty of rain this week, we're finally going to get a break and see plenty of sunshine heading into this weekend. I'll have more on this in my full forecast coming up, but first a look at stocks of local interest.
She had her own talk variety show in the early days of television, and she has been a hit in every venue through every decade in which she has worked in our business.
Betty White.
Betty White.
Betty White.
Betty White.
Betty White.
Eddie White, ladies and gentlemen.
PBS, the place I trust to tell my story. Don't miss it.
The United States of America is a country blessed with the most breathtaking scenery in the world. From every national park to every backyard garden. Join us for a grand adventure from sea to shining sea.
In celebration of Ken Burns' film, The National Parks, America's Best Idea, we take a closer look at the story that inspired a new generation of visitors to these national treasures.
I think the national parks sort of perfectly represent that. We couldn't have done it without a country that was willing to consider new ideas.
Please join me, Peter Coyote, for Ken Burns, The National Parks.
Do you feel less happy than just a few years ago? You are not alone. But this show is about happiness. And I'll show you how to use your brain to be 30% happier, have more energy, and even a better memory in just 30 days. And that's my mission today.
Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm forecaster Henry Groff with a look at your weather for this weekend. And I have 3 words to say that's going to really sum up this great weather we're going to see. No more rain. So right now we see cloudy skies across the region. Temperatures are above around freezing. And the reason for this calm weather that we're going to be entering is because the system that we saw yesterday, this low pressure that's now in South Carolina, will be moving off the coast. And we're going to be bringing in some high pressure that will bring us decreasing clouds through Saturday and really wonderful weather heading into early next week. But looking at tonight, our winds are going to weaken, so our wind chill will start to increase. But still, we're going to see our temperatures drop through the evening down to 26. So if you are heading out this evening, make sure to bring a jacket and bundle up. And looking at our low for tonight in Athens, we're going to be heading down to 21. It's going to be really chilly. Clouds will start to decrease, and our winds will start to head to around calm. And heading across the regions, temperatures are going to stay relatively chilly. Temperatures should reach around 20 degrees, possibly drop down to 19 in New Lexington, but overall going to be staying consistent with low 20s. And heading into tomorrow, high pressure will dominate our weather for Saturday and heading into Sunday. So we will start to see sunny skies heading into tomorrow. By noon, we will be reaching around 36. It's still going to be chilly, but it's not going to be as cold as what we saw today because we're going to be heading to a high of 41 degrees. Again, wind will still be calm, and we're going to be in for a cool afternoon. But temperatures across the region will also remain in the low 40s. Temperatures up north will be up in the upper 30s. But those temperatures will really warm up heading into tomorrow with Columbus at around 43. Here in Athens, we're going to be heading up to 49 degrees. And for Ironton, we're going to be heading up to 52. But plenty of sunshine for our Sunday. So if you have any activities, make sure to see if you can do them outside and really enjoy our sunshine for this weekend. And heading into the 7-day forecast, we're going to be seeing really nice weather for our Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures should be up to around 52 degrees heading into Sunday. We're going to be staying steady through the week with Monday out around 48 degrees, but we will see a quick warm up heading into Wednesday. But for our Monday, we are expecting a weak cold front to move through. That's why our temperatures will slightly dip for Monday, but then go up again for our Tuesday. We have no rain expected anytime this week, and our lows for our week will be in the upper 20s to low 30s. So overall, it's going to be really nice, and just try to take advantage of this really nice weather heading into next week. But that's it for weather for now. I'm going to be handing it back to Nick.
Thanks, Henry. The Athens County Foundation is working to support anti-racism programs through the Racial Equity Fund. Newswatch reporter Fallon Howard is live in the studio with more.
Thanks, Nick. A $45,000 fund has been created to help meet the needs of the community and develop programs for underrepresented populations.
Brandon Thompson, the co-chair of the Racial Equity Fund, says one of his goals for the fund is to provide more resources and programs to help people of color.
But a lot of people don't know where to find those resources. You know, there's places you can get loans and, you know, you can find support from certain people, but like there was never anything focused on like people of color.
Director of Programs and Engagement, Eleni Zulia, says being flexible to accommodate the community needs is what the grant program is designed for.
Some of what we're hoping to accomplish with this grant program in particular is offering flexible funding and finding whatever ways we can to partner with the organizations in the community, figure out what they need and make it straightforward. And
bringing in diverse perspectives and ideas is what will determine priorities for the fund.
A really important part of establishing the Racial Equity Fund was to have a broad and diverse advisory committee, and so we've been doing a lot of outreach to different communities, organizations, school districts.
Applications for proposals are open now. To learn more and access the application, visit athensfoundation.org.
In sports, it's a packed weekend at the Convocation Center as the Bobcats are active both tonight and tomorrow. And right after the break, we check in with Hardwood Heroes producer Dylan Tyson, who will catch us up on the high school basketball playoff action in our region. Now, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your local public television station.
We're all living with too much toxic stress, emotional turmoil, and frustrating disruptions affecting every aspect of our lives. But it doesn't have to be that way. Dr. Deepak Chopra shows us a path filled with inner peace, vibrant energy, and profound joy. Ancient wisdom combined with the latest in scientific research. Please join us for Deepak Chopra, your path to enlightenment.
Experience the birth of the cool with American Master Jazzman Miles Davis.
Music had been my total life.
He changed everything just by the way he was playing.
I want to feel the way Miles sounds.
Makes my soul smile. All I ever wanted to do was communicate what I felt through music.
Be cool with the extraordinary Miles Davis on American Masters.
We are in the final stretch of Season 12 for Hardwood Heroes, and the race for a state title is heating up. Can the Tomcats continue their domination? Can Alexander keep their postseason run alive? Plus, we get to see how Alexander's father-daughter dynamic duo on the court bleeds into the home life. Be sure to tune in to WOUB Sunday nights at 11 and Monday nights at 6. And from all of us at Hardwood Heroes, once again, we're reminding you to be heroic.
The United States of America is a country blessed with the most breathtaking scenery in the world. From every national park to every backyard garden. Join us for a grand adventure from sea to shining sea.
Welcome back. I'm Ethan Sargent. The high school basketball season is nearing its end. This weekend, the quest for a district title continues in the OHSAA tournament. Now joining us live from the site of a Division IV district final is Hardwood Heroes producer Dylan Tyson.
Thank you, Ethan. 6 teams remain from the Tri-Valley Conference in the state tournament. Tonight, the 3 girls teams are battling it out to stay alive. Behind me right now, the Trimble Lady Tomcats are just 1 win away from their first district title since 2006, but in order to get there, they'll have to win a revenge game against the South Webster Jeeps. South Webster handed the Lady Tomcats an ugly first loss of the season back in late January. Despite a rocky end of the regular season, Trimble still claimed the top seed in the district, and tonight, the Tomcats are out to prove why they're still the top dogs, especially with a return from injury for senior Riley Campbell. Later tonight, fellow TVC Hawking powerhouse Waterford takes on Portsmouth Notre Dame. The Lady Cats ranked 4th in the statewide AP poll, and if their success continues, they could meet Trimble in a grudge match for the regional finals. Right now, the Tomcats and the Jeeps are tied at 22 apiece as the first quarter comes to a close. A lot of time left in this one, but the fate of Trimble's stellar senior starting 5 is on the line. For now, we send it back over to Ethan.
Thanks, Dylan. For more TVC basketball, including all of this week's tournament action, tune in to WOUB Hardwood Heroes Sunday night at 11 and Monday night at 6. In addition to the girls' Division IV district finals, Hardwood Heroes has you covered with Vinton County's high-stakes showdown against state-ranked Sheridan. Then throughout tomorrow afternoon, Federal Hocking, Trimble, and the Alexander boys play in the Southeast District semifinals. For the results and implications of these games and more, tune in to Hardwood Heroes. Now switching over to college athletics, the Ohio men's basketball team has a pivotal game tonight at the Convo against the Akron Zips. That game tipped off at 6 p.m. The score is currently 40-22 to the Zips. It's a senior night for Ohio, as it might be Bobcat legend Ben Vanderplaas's final game at the Convo. Ohio will also honor 6th-year Jason Carter, who's instantly stepped into a starting role, and Tommy Schmock, who hit 7 threes and led the team in scoring in Tuesday's win over Central Michigan. Also being honored is John Terenowitz, who's a vocal leader on the team. Now, the Ohio women's basketball team is also celebrating senior night tomorrow, but they sit in a much more precarious position than the men. While the men sit second in the MAC, the women are clinging on for just a spot in the postseason. They currently sit 7th in the conference standings with just 3 games to play, including tomorrow's home tilt against Akron. The Zips sit 3rd in the conference and have already punched their ticket to Cleveland, so they're fighting for position in a crowded conference. Ohio will be recognizing one of their best players to ever come through the program in CeCe Hooks. Hooks will probably have her number hang in the rafters of the Convo one day. The Bobcats will also honor seniors Gabby Burris and Hunter Rogan, who are both key contributors in their own right. Tip-off is set for 1 p.m. as the Bobcats try to get to Cleveland for the MAC postseason. That's all for sports. Back over to you, Nick.
Thanks, Ethan. Now, all you dog people, cat people, and even if you have a ferret or a fish, here's some good news. Having a pet could boost your brain power. A new study shows it could delay memory loss and other kinds of cognitive decline, especially verbal memory, like memorizing a list of words. For example, all the crazy nicknames you can come up with for your pet. Now, there's more to it than getting a fish, and there it is. Studies show that authors say that you've got to have a pet pal for 5 years or more. The big question is, of course, why? There's no clear answer from this study, but previous studies have shown the negative impact of stress on the brain. And pets can help you cut back on the stress. Yes, that even includes cleaning up after them.
Thanks, Nick. And if you have a pet, you should definitely take them out for a walk tomorrow, because we're going to see really nice weather at around 41 degrees. It's going to be a cool afternoon, but it's going to be warming up heading later in this week, and we're also going to see calm winds. And across the region, it's going to be looking really, really, really nice, with temperatures up in the upper 30s in Columbus and then heading down to the low 40s across the south in Jackson and Ripley. Partly cloudy skies throughout the day. We'll start the day off with mostly cloudy skies, but those clouds will start to decrease through the afternoon. And we're going to be seeing mostly sunny skies on Sunday with a high of 52 and a low of 26. So take advantage of that if you can. And we're going to continue to see sunny skies from Monday through Wednesday, with temperatures heading up to the low 60s. And it's going to be looking really nice. That's it for weather here. I'm going to be handing it back to the desk.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you for watching. I'm Will Price.
And for Henry Groff, Fallon Howard, Ethan Sargent, and Dylan Tyson, I'm Nick Phelan. For more of the national stories, stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest local news stories anytime at WOUB.org. Now have a great night.
Support comes from Dean Heating and Cooling. Stay warm this winter with energy-efficient TempStar heating. Dean Heating and Cooling provides HVAC services and installation in the Athens area, featuring TempStar quality you can feel. Support comes from the Center for Campus and Community Engagement at Ohio University and Give Pulse, a volunteer management platform for nonprofits and volunteers. At givepulse.org.